Hello, hello, and welcome to another video here on Karina's Creatures. Today I have another exciting update for you guys, and that is that I want to introduce you to my new snake. She is a python brongersmai, or blood python, and I got her last year in August, so August 2019 at the Western Canadian Reptile Expo. So she's growing rapidly in typical python fashion, so let's get her out and introduce you guys. Okay, so here we are at my PVC enclosures, which I have upgraded since the last time I made a video. So very recently, what I did was I got two larger enclosures on the bottom. It is a slightly larger footprint on these guys. These are truly 4 feet by 2 feet. And then these height is 18 inches, so 1.5 feet versus these guys here, which are just a foot. So everyone got an upgrade because the two boas went into the larger ones, and then my corn snake and Miss Pecan, who you will meet today, went into where the boas were. So everyone got an upgrade, and like I mentioned, Pecan has been growing rapidly, so I needed to do this upgrade a little earlier than expected, but here we are, and she's just in here. I think my head might be a little cut off here, but that's not really the focus. So, yeah, she's in here. I'll move the camera. So, because blood pythons are a heavier bodied snake, even as juveniles, we don't really need anything to climb. Just have a nice, big, solid water dish in the corner. It's just a ceramic pot bottom, works well. Paper towel substrate, and a nice hide. So, come here, honey. Well, there she is. She's hyperventilating because they are a little more defensive than some other species of snake, but I've gotten her fairly used to handling and whatnot. So there she is, and let's go bring her back to sit with her. Okay, so here we are with Pecan, and I named her that because I thought it was a cute name, and she's a cute snake. So here she is. When I got her in August of last year, she was about 4 or 5 months old. So at this point, she's just over a year old, and as you can see, if you know anything about what blood python hatchlings look like, she has grown a lot. And like I was mentioning, they're a very heavy-bodied snake, and if you can see, she's nice and chunky already, which can make it a little bit more difficult to tell if your blood python or other short-tail python is overweight, because they are naturally kind of overweight looking. But a tip that I think works pretty well is you want to make sure that, like, yes, they will be round and chunky, but as long as you can see the ridge of their spine when they are in a fairly relaxed position to slightly flexed position, then you're probably all right. She's super cute. Very good eater in typical true python fashion. She inhales food, but the thing is, this one in particular doesn't actually have a very strong feeding response, like a striking response, which was really surprising considering the attitude, the very slight attitude adjustment period we had to go through with her when she was a baby. Yeah, no, she sees the food there, she comes out, she looks at it, and basically waits for me to put it down in front of her. I close up the cage and just monitor her, and she doesn't strangle it, she doesn't constrict, she just it's almost like she looks at it and goes, okay, yeah, there's my food, and just eats it in one go, and that's it. So, yeah, interesting. Not all blood pythons are like that, but, you know, this sort of feeding response is also not a cause for concern. It just depends on the personality of your specific blood python. So, yeah, I just thought that would be interesting to share. They spend a lot of their time in the water, so I lovingly call them like a swamp snake, because they spend a lot of their time almost similar to an alligator, how they'll be under the water, ambush predator, sit and wait sort of strategy. So what can happen It can be a little bit harder to tell if they're feeling defensive because they don't necessarily show the same body language that some other species of snake that you might be used to would. So they will be more still, and to some people it might seem like they just kind of jump when they strike. What I noticed, like when I was taking her out, is you notice their breathing. She starts to breathe more quickly, and the eyes are following you as you're approaching, and yeah, that to me suggests that she's feeling a little nervous, but this is a little bit more of a nervous species, so you know, you just got to go in there with confidence, take them out. If you get bit, you get bit. The main thing is, if they start to behave like that, you shouldn't, I don't think you should put them back unless they're going insane, but generally, if they're striking or hissing, whatever, continue with taking them out and spend time with them until they feel more calm, because otherwise you are enforcing that sort of defensive behavior, and then soon enough you might have a way more defensive snake than you began with. So that's sort of the process that we go through here. Certainly with a more intermediate species like this, we went through that process as well, but as you can see, lovely snake. She is very calm right now, just kind of exploring, smelling the air, all kinds of good stuff. Yeah. So here she is again, a little bit more up close. And as you can see, I work to try to get all my snakes at least tolerating some head touches, because I don't ever want to be in a situation where I might be showing someone one of my snakes and they go and touch their face and the snake freaks out and they have a negative experience with the animal. So, you know, we work with them to do that, and as you can see, she's just lovely. She's getting a little big to hold her like this, but I'm trying to show you guys. Here's a good shot of her absolutely beautiful pattern, slightly reminiscent of the pattern of a Burmese python, if you've seen them, almost giraffe-like. And of course, their cute little tail. Her butt is really big right now because she needs to poop. And another thing to note is that these guys will not poop for months on end. So do not be worried if you bring your blood python home and you've given it several meals and there's no poo, because that is totally normal. As adults, some of them can even hold their poop for like a year. Something that they will do often though is, I call it python paste. It's, I don't even know if it's like a form of urates or what, but it's like a little paste that they excrete, and it's stinky, almost fish-like in scent. So they will be doing that quite a bit, so I don't really recommend a loose substrate for them, because that will be really difficult to keep on top of and spot cleaning and whatnot, because it's quite liquid, so you won't really see it and it'll get stinky and gross. Also, something cool is she's gotten fairly used to being on my shoulders like this. If your blood python does take to doing this, always be extra careful with them, because they're not the greatest climbers, so they can tend to just roll off, and you don't want them falling off anywhere and hurting themselves. So yeah, just watch out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed meeting Pecan. And if you have any questions or comments or whatever else, please feel free to let me know down below. I'd love to read everything that you guys write. Also, who says blood pythons can't be snuggly? I think they're wonderful. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Right, honey? Yeah.